Hello guys and welcome to Football Fandom UK. So today we are here to discuss La Liga. If you guys are wondering why we're here to discuss La Liga when we are a football fan channel for the UK football, which we are guys, but we also have to occasionally look at European football because the European football leagues obviously do a lot of transfer business together between each other, stuff like that. So we do need to obviously cover some European football on the channel occasionally to get a better understanding of how things can affect UK football. So guys, today we are doing La Liga, and the reason for this is because obviously it's been well documented about Lionel Messi leaving Barcelona. So I thought we would try and look into some of the facts of what is going on with La Liga, because it is in a bit of a crisis right now. I want to just say this before I get into this. All these fact figures that I'm about to give you are what I've researched out of the Spanish media, European media. So make of it what you will. I'm not saying that these figures are exact or anything like that. It's just a way of us getting a rough idea of the kind of numbers that obviously circulate through the La Liga league, the clubs receive, etc, etc. But it does give us a rough idea, so let's get into it, guys. So apparently the La Liga deal for the 2016 to 2019, the clubs, and I think we see the same thing in England and Scotland, that clubs and the leagues do deals with big TV companies and also sponsorship deals, and these deals tend to last around 3 to 4 years before they're renewed. So the rough figure that I'm going to give you that La Liga had split between each club that was filtered through the leagues from TV revenue from year 2006 to 2019 was £1.8 billion. That is 2.65 billion euros. So that's over a 3-year period. I want to obviously concentrate mainly on obviously what has happened in the last 12 months. And I think that some of the numbers I'm going to give you might explain why we are seeing the insistence of Barcelona and Real Madrid try to work towards this Super League. I'm going to point out some debt figures from last year, from last season. The club's debt overall throughout La Liga is reported to be around 746 million. Now, obviously, that big loss of revenue is mainly due to the fact that clubs couldn't have fans attending, because one thing that I seem to be learning about Spanish football is they do earn decent money, guys, from the league, from what they earn for winning the league positionally. There is a bit of an imbalance within La Liga from my point of view. That's just my opinion. There is definitely an imbalance in respect of what clubs earn. The point that I'm trying to get at is La Liga clubs appear to be in massive amounts of debt, and a lot of it is kind of brought on by themselves, particularly with Barcelona and Real Madrid. I think these clubs are running themselves literally into the ground, trying to stay on top, trying to be the big European clubs, the clubs that all the players want to play for, and also the clubs, shall we say, the fans that glory hunters like to support. So guys, like I say, with regards to the debt rising last year, reportedly the total net debt was around 1.7 billion euros at the end of 2019-2020. So that is just before the pandemic. So we are seeing that in Spain, the debt is actually rising, which is absolute crazy. And that will kind of give you an idea of why we are seeing some of the Spanish clubs in financial crisis. Now, I've got to be honest, I am not a big fan of Real Madrid, but I've got to give them some respect. I think they saw the problems coming a couple of years ago, and hence that is why they probably decided to let Ronaldo go and some other key players that they've also let go that was on really high wages to try and get their finances in some sort of order. So according to Spanish media, The two clubs in the biggest amount of debt in Spain are Real Madrid and Barcelona. Now, like I say, I think Real Madrid have been tackling the problem from about 2-3 years ago, whereas as we've seen with Barcelona, they have done nothing, or it appears that they have done nothing to tackle the problem until this summer, when they have been forced to tackle the problem due to the fact that their debt is just spiraling out of control. So, guys, reportedly in the Spanish media, Real Madrid are in debt of around £900 million. So that is only £100 million short of £1 billion of debt. So obviously, that when we hear the figure of Barcelona, we can see that it looks like Real Madrid have been trying to reduce the debt. Now, with Barcelona, their gross debt is reported to be in the Spanish media as much as 1.2 or 1.3 billion pounds. Now, I can't get an exact figure, guys. None of these figures can be exact, but I'm just giving you what I have found in the Spanish media. But there is some Spanish media that are reporting that the debt is in excess of 1.3 billion for Barcelona. Now, if this is the case, this would totally explain why Barcelona had no choice but to let Lionel Messi go. But the question that's got to be asked, guys, is why did they not do something about this sooner? Why have they allowed this debt to get out of control? Now, obviously, Spanish fans are going to know a lot more about the structure of the clubs in Spain. Me personally, I don't follow any particular Spanish club, so obviously I'm looking at it from the outside. Now, in my personal opinion, I think that Real Madrid and Barcelona have been so focused in the last 20 years of being the biggest and best clubs in Europe that the debt has kind of crept up on them because maybe they've just kept adding that little bit more and that little bit more and thinking that they could come back to it and sort it out because they're such big, powerful clubs. But obviously with successive presidents coming in and out of the club, it has had the impact where successive presidents have ignored these costs, these spiralling costs, these spiralling debt, and it's got to the point now where Barcelona and Real Madrid are forced to deal with it. Now, obviously I pointed out that Real Madrid are in £900 million worth of debt. As much as I pointed out it could be higher, it also could be lower, guys, because at the minute, Real Madrid are paying out around, I think from the figures I found, around 130, 140 million pounds what they are paying out for stadium upgrades. They're not playing at the Bernabeu right now. It's being renovated, and apparently that is coming at a cost, or the cost so far is around 130 to 140 million pounds. So obviously that is something that does need to be done. Obviously, as fans, we think it's important that owners, people at the club, do take responsibility to keep the stadium facilities to a decent standard, shall we say. So yeah, guys, that would, if we reduce that would take obviously Real Madrid's debt down to around 750, 760 million pounds, something like that. So it's obviously considerably less than Barcelona. But guys, the reason I am doing this video today is obviously to highlight these figures and this craziness that's going on in the Spanish football, because as a fan, I am concerned that this is going to have some kind of impact on English clubs, Scottish clubs in the future down the line somewhere. Whether it's good, bad, I'm not sure, but I do think that this financial crisis is going to have some impact on other European leagues. Now, apparently, last year, the prize money for the top team winning the Spanish league was around £158 million. The second place team won around £154 million, and the third place team were awarded around £115 million. The team that finished bottom of the league in La Liga was awarded around £48.5 million. So as you can see, guys, there seems to be a massive gap between the prize money at the top of La Liga and the bottom of La Liga. Now, obviously, if a club fails to compete, ends up at the bottom of the league, rightly so, they shouldn't get as much prize money. But we also have to consider that these clubs also have overheads to consider just to keep the club afloat, electric bills for lighting of the ground, etc., stadium upgrades, stadium facilities, heating, showers, hot water, all these kind of things, players' wages, you name it, guys. These clubs are paying out all the same things that Real Madrid and Barcelona are paying out for. So it is questionable why is there such a big gap in revenue between the clubs at the bottom of the league compared to the clubs at the top of the league. But maybe that's a debate for another day. But one thing I did want to point out to you guys around this that is definitely concerning with regards to La Liga is the way that the money is distributed. Apparently, La Liga clubs have agreed to this, supposedly, so it's been reported. 50% will be distributed equally between the top 20 clubs. The merit money, is 25%, will be distributed according to league position based on the last 5 years. Now, that is the point that I was wanting to highlight, guys. That sounds bizarre. Why are clubs being paid revenue over what happened 2-3 seasons ago? Surely the prize money should be awarded for what a club achieves year after year. For example, once a club has earned the money from the previous season, the new season comes along, it should be a fresh start. I do not understand why La Liga has got this kind of structure where they are looking back over the last 5 years of what our club's success or not been successful to award prize money. This is bizarre. And the reason I'm highlighting this, guys, is because I think that this gives us a little bit of a clue to who is influencing the Champions League. When I've actually read about all this La Liga stuff and I came across this last 5 year, 25% of the money being awarded for the last 5 years on how well or bad the clubs have done, sort of straight away rang alarm bells in my head. To this sounds like the same way that the Champions League seeds clubs. And also, it would explain why there is such a massive revenue gap between what a club can win at the top of the league to what a club can win at the bottom of the league in La Liga. Because surely, guys, we all want to see the top club, the club that wins the league, earn the most prize money. We totally want to see that. We want to see them rewarded for their success. We want to see them rewarded for their achievements. But we also have to make sure that we keep enough finances available for every other club within the league so that they are not having to basically scrape the barrel financially to sustain themselves as a club. So for me, guys, that is something that's definitely concerning. I would love to know your opinion. Do you think that that is an indication that the Spanish Football League is maybe having a bit more influence on the Champions League than other leagues throughout Europe? Like I said, I'm not saying that is the case, guys. I am just chucking it out there because it is something that is very questionable, that is a similarity with the Champions League. Now, with regards to this resource generation money, this 25% that is awarded resource generation, according to what I've found, it's saying will be distributed according to each team's capacity of generating resources. For example, number of official club members, season ticket holders, and attendance, etc. Now, I don't want to pass judgment, guys, but that to me sounds very biased. That sounds to me like they're awarding clubs that generate a bigger fan base and punishing clubs that can't generate a bigger fan base. That is shocking to see that is how 25% of the prize money is distributed based on how many season tickets you sell, based on how many fans you've got attending. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. You shouldn't be awarded for your fan attendance. You should be awarded prize money for where you finish in the league and what success your club has. The clubs are already being rewarded for having a higher attendance and higher season ticket numbers because they generate more money through having higher attendance. So why do they also need to be rewarded off the league for having a higher attendance? This is bizarre, guys. This is absolutely bizarre. So the reason I'm highlighting this, guys, is because these kind of things are kind of giving us an insight into why there may be an imbalance in Spanish football, and maybe why these clubs like Barcelona and Real Madrid are running their clubs on a 5-year plan idea rather than being sensible and looking at their books year to year and keeping their finances in order, relevant to each season that comes along. So yeah, it would explain if presidents of clubs in Spain are looking 5 years ahead and thinking, yeah, we can sort that in 5 years' time. We can afford to let the club have this debt because in 5 years we can rebalance it. But as we know, guys, in the football world, things change so fast. So I don't understand why clubs would be putting debt on their club and thinking that they can sort it out in 4 or 5 years' time. It's bizarre, guys. It's absolutely bizarre. But like I said, guys, we're not here to particularly pass judgment on Spanish league or Spanish clubs. We're here to look at the figures, the facts that we can to basically get a better understanding of why this league is suddenly gone from being one of the most attractive leagues in European football to now they are struggling to attract players, and they're going to be struggling to attract players. And the fact of the matter is, guys, this will lead me to future videos because I have hopefully if I can find the time, I have plans to do future videos around this particular subject of the finances because I think that we need to look at the simple question, are players asking too much? Are players asking for too much money? Is the player power impacting the way these clubs are being run? Is players' demands expectation from a club unrealistic to what a club can afford and seriously, earn or dish out in wages to what they actually generate? So I think we've covered it all, guys. I want to hear from you with regards to this. I want to hear your thoughts. I've only done this video just to quickly highlight some of the figures so that you guys can have your say. Like I said, I hope to do another video or possibly even a stream so that you guys can come on and have your say about this because, like I say, I think we need to consider this because of the pandemic. Like I say, I think a lot of fans, as right as they are to enjoy the fact of being back in clubs and back supporting their clubs and filling stadiums, that is absolutely fantastic. But we have to ask the question about La Liga particularly. Have they run themselves on such a fine edge financially that they basically now put themselves in the position where they are struggling to sustain themselves if they have one bad year of financial trouble? And we've just had that exactly, guys. Completely unexpected. None of the football clubs around Europe expected the pandemic to hit so hard. None of them expected it to mean that they was going to have a year with no fans attending the games. So, guys, it's something we need to look at. It's something that we need to absorb as fans. It's something that we should be talking about as fans. Because if you really care about football and you really care about the future of football and your club that you support, we need to have these debates. We need to analyse this because clearly it appears to me, guys, that the mainstream media are not touching on this at all. They've touched on it very briefly. Obviously, making statements like fans need to be back to help clubs generate revenue. But like I say, guys, they are not going into this in depth. They are not analysing the true figures within the leagues and how these clubs are getting themselves in so much financial trouble. But we have to ask the question, guys, how are these clubs getting in this kind of debt when we see the crazy amounts of money being poured into football from sponsorship, from TV revenue, from shirt sales, from ticket sales? The numbers that these clubs are earning revenue-wise are astronomical. So how is it that these clubs are allowing themselves to spend beyond their means and end up in these kind of financial troubles? So that's it from me, guys. Obviously, I've tried to cover some of it. I've probably not covered all of it. But like I say, this is just highlighting some of the trouble in Spain. Because we have to ask the question, particularly with regards to Lionel Messi. Are the top players at the top of the leagues demanding too much money and potentially putting our clubs in the future at risk? So, guys, look forward to hearing your comments, reading your comments and hearing from you, your thoughts on this. Like I say, hopefully we'll be covering this in more depth, but particularly with English and Scottish clubs in the not too distant future. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully you guys have got some great input and maybe even some information that you can share on the channel that I'm not aware of. Thanks for taking the time to watch the video, guys. Appreciate all the support. Take care and all the best.